What is going on YouTube and Instagram? It's Zell back again with another video for y'all, man. And first day of training camp, man. First day of training camp. We got a lot to get into. I want to go over with y'all. But first off, it is looking like we are moving into the next step of the stadium coming back to the RFK site. I'm on the Channel 4 Washington website right now, and they say Wednesday morning that Chairman Phil Mendelssohn, who has voiced concerns about the stadium deal for months, came to an agreement with the Commanders to change the financial terms. The details of those changes are not yet clear. The agreement opens the door for DC Council to vote within the next coming days after public hearings and approving of the stadium build out. So it looks like they came into agreement. They're just waiting to sign, and then they're going to make the vote to see if this is going to go through. Which once the vote comes in, I'm pretty certain that it's going to be in favor of the Commanders moving back to the stadium. So that's good news. I don't know what the holdup was, but it's looked like it was at the 5-yard line, and now it's looking like it's in the end zone. Damn near right about now. So that's that. But yeah, man, let's get into first day training camp, man. They released. I really want to pull up. I really would like to pull up the a picture of the locker room for y'all because they look really good, man. Locker room looks nice. Let me see if I can find that really quick. It's just amazing that, you know, once you get a new owner and they know what to do with their money, they make the right decisions. But yeah, let me pull this up real quick, man. Here we go. That's what it's looking like. That's what it looked like before in 2020, 2025. Major changes. They got the leather seats in the middle. They got the nice, and then like it's not gonna show it in these pictures, but the back of the seat, it opens up as like an extra closet compartment, which is pretty cool, I thought. So the fact that they were able to renovate it is really nice. This looks 10 times better than what it was earlier this year. If y'all remember, we were graded an F for the locker room. So hopefully this can get us at least to like a B or a C or something like that, because these look really nice, man. These look really nice. So that's that, man. I low-key want to go in there and sit in one of them chairs, see what they feel like. But yeah, man, we got the new locker room looking good. We got Terry still on the holdout. But you know, it's good news that the only good news you can take from that is that he is apparently still in the area. You know, he's still in the Virginia area. He was spotted at yoga. Took a picture with someone. I can't remember who it was, but he took a picture with someone leaving the yoga in Virginia. You know, I guess that's good news. You can pull from it. But Trey Hendrickson, he's not even in the same state. You know, a lot of times guys don't even like they like to, you know, post themselves from anywhere in the world when they're in a contract dispute, just to show that like, hey, I'm really willing to not even be close to y'all if y'all don't give me what I want. But the fact that he is still home, it seems like he really wants to get it done. Hearing from AP yesterday, it seems like they really want him here and they really want to get it done. So for me, it's I didn't think it would get to this point. Honestly, I didn't think it would get anywhere near this point. I thought he would have been signed sometime like before, you know, between mandatory mini camps and the starter training camp. I thought it would be some point between there. I didn't think it would lead into training camp, but obviously it has now. And it just doesn't make sense because, for one, from both sides, I just don't understand why it can't be why this can't be rectified now. Like, why are we waiting? Because it's a lot of factors that go into it. And I'm gonna go into it. But number one, Terry wants to be here. He wants to be here. He finally has a great quarterback. He had one of the best seasons of his career last season. He wants to be here. He's our number one guy. He went through the downs. And now he's with us when we're good. He wants to be here. Said that many times. AP knows we need Terry. Like, we're not going to be as successful, especially this year, without our number one wide receiver. We can't expect us to do better than what we did last year, or be competitive against the top teams without Terry McLaurin. That's number two. Like, those two things, they both know from both sides. And then, like, on top of that, I understand Jaden needs to get paid eventually, and that's going to happen, right? That's going to happen. But we're not from my understanding, with the cap space and the money that we have, it doesn't. And I don't know exactly how much money we have this season and going into next season, but we're not in a position to be like, where we're crunching for money, or we're trying to find this and that. We got to drop players. We got to reconstruct people's contracts. I understand they don't want to get to that point, but when it comes to somebody like Terry, who's been here, who's asked, he's done everything you asked him to do and more, and he does everything the right way. He's the exact player you want as a commander on this team. And again, I don't know the number that they're arguing about, but it just doesn't make sense that they cannot come on an agreement. Now, there was reports yesterday about it being around, initial offer was around 23 or 24. If that's true, that's ridiculous by one. I initially thought it would be between 31 and 33. Terry probably came in. I probably came in about 35, and he's probably willing to work his way down. But if I'm Terry, I'm not going anything lower than 30, especially looking around the league and seeing everybody else. And I'm looking like, yeah, I'm better than this guy. I'm better than this guy. They're making this much. I'm not going under 30 mil. Like, that's just not what I would do. So I understand that part. And I also understand AP side of things, because he's trying to do what's the best interest of the team. He just got here last year. He's only 1 year under us. He may not be looking at Terry like how we look at. He even said it yesterday. He didn't realize the degree that Terry had on the community, on the team, on the fans, that he has. He didn't realize that. So he may be seeing Terry differently than how we see him. He might see him like a Mike Evans. Might want to pay him like a Mike Evans, which is Mike Evans is making what, 23, 24? No more than like 25 or 26, but he's making that range. He might want to pay Terry around that range, right? Terry like, nah, I'm coming off 5 straight seasons, don't get injured, had the best season of my career once I finally got a good QB. I came out in the playoffs. I performed in the playoffs, had some good games, had 13 touchdowns, franchise record. Like, he's like, pay me. And I understand it, but I also understand both sides. But it just doesn't make sense why it's taking this long. I'm so confident. I'm 100% confident that it will get done eventually. It's just taking long for a reason that I can't put my finger on. And I just don't understand why they can't just settle at 30 or 31. Terry comes down a little bit, AP comes up. Anything under 30 doesn't make sense to me. If AP is sticking to, like, if AP is over there like, bro, no, we can't go higher than 28. I'm like, bro, get that man 30 mil. But again, we don't know what he's actually offering. Maybe that news will come out once the deal gets done, but right now we just don't know. And the biggest thing about it is, I want Terry here for training camp, not because I don't think he's going to be mentally ready or he needs to build up the chemistry with Jaden. I think that's all good. I just don't want him to get injured. I don't want him to miss all the training camp and all the preseason and miss games and come out there and trying to hit the ground running and he gets injured, kind of like what happened with Brandon Ayuk, who signed late and he ended up getting injured. Like, I've seen that before with dudes who are in contract disputes and they miss part of the training camp, or they miss part of the initial preseasons, and they come out, try to hit the ground running, and they get injured. I just don't want to see that side of the things. And hopefully we get him in this week. If we can get him in this week, I'll be good. But if this leaks into next week, I'm gonna be kind of on edge about things because now he's missed the first week of training camp. Um, and again, it's not a chemistry thing. I don't think he needs to build that chemistry with Jaden and the team. It's about a health thing. It's about ramping up. It's about being in an environment so that when you do get out there, you're not trying to push too hard because you have all those reps under your belt. So hopefully it gets done. I know it's going to get done, but hopefully it gets done sooner rather than later. Um, training camp. Training camp. We had from what I've seen on Twitter, because they didn't really record anything and post it, but from what I've heard, I heard that Ja'Cory Brooks had 2 touchdowns, one from Jaden, one from Mariota. Kind of good that he got a touchdown from Jaden, so he's building that rapport with Jaden. But he's a name to see. He had 2 touchdowns today, one on Lattimore, who apparently slipped. I don't know if it was an accident or if Ja'Cory made him slip, but he scored one on him. And then he also scored one on Ben Nickel. So Ja'Cory Brooks, has good size, long, lengthy, something that we don't have in our wide receiver room right now. So that could be a name to watch going through training camp to see if he makes this team. That'll be very interesting. Also, some good news that Cosme was moved to the PUP list now, which is good that he was moved now rather than later. So Dan Quinn spoke about that, and he's saying that pretty much paraphrasing. He's saying that it's definitely on the table that he will be back sometime early in the season. So maybe even to start the season, first game, we'll see. But once he gets back, we'll have our best guard in the building, and I can't wait for that. So we're looking forward to it. But yeah, man. Again, some more Terry news. A quote from Dan Quinn. He says we think the world of him. Is why we're trying to do the extension. We hold him in really high regard. So I mean, like I said, just to go bring it back up again. It doesn't really make sense, why it's taking so long. Like, everybody wants Terry here. Like, this is my thing. Somebody has to be like AP has to be either lowballing or Terry has to be asking for something ridiculous. Most people that follow the team that have dealt with contracts, analysts, they all agree it's somewhere around the 30 range. So if the market is dictating that Terry should get somewhere around 30, 31, 32 range, and they still can't agree, somebody's asking for something crazy. Either Terry's asking for too much or AP is asking to take a little bit. Like, we just don't know what side it is. It has to be something outrageous from one of the sides. But again, man, I'm kind of disappointed that we hear, because now it's a distraction. I want to be able to watch the team and be, fantasizing about how good we about to be this season. But instead, we got to be on the edge of our seats waiting for Terry to sign. Like, when is Terry gonna sign? Like, and then when the team posting and go to the comments, pay Terry, like pay Terry this, pay Terry that. Like I just don't want to hear about that no more, man. I'm ready to get to this season because we finally got aspirations this season. We finally have aspirations this season, and I just don't want it to be a distraction. I'm not worried about Jaden. I feel like Jaden is cold-blooded. He don't need, it doesn't matter what distractions are going to be going around. I feel like he's going to play well, but I just don't know about everybody else. There's a few players I think will play well regardless, but I wouldn't like to not go into the season with this on our shoulders, but it is what it is. I still think we're going to be really good, even if he signs 3 weeks into the season. I think we're going to get it together, but again, sooner rather than later in my mind, I would like. But yeah, Dan Quinn was asked about Cosme. He says it's on the table. He was asked, will he be ready for the start of the season? Dan Quinn says, quote, it's on the table for sure. We'll get a better answer on that as we get closer to the end of the preseason, but I'm very encouraged with the work he's put in. So that sounded good. Cosme looks like he's on the right track to be back this season, healthy. Noah Brown was out there as well, so that kind of confirms that he's not that the whatever he went through in mandatory mini camps is kind of over. They also released a video either like last week or 2 weeks ago with him doing drills, and he looked really good too. So good to have Noah Brown back. Like we're literally just waiting on Terry at this point, and Cosme, of course, but really just waiting on that Terry deal to be back at full strength. Also, some other news of training camp. It was per Nikki Javala. She said that Jaden's first completion of camp was a touchdown over the shoulder, beautiful ball to Deebo Samuel. Beautiful. They said she used the word beautiful, if I'm not mistaken. So that is great because if Debo's going to be used as a Swift Army knife, we all know that he's going to be used in the passing game, as a running back around the line of scrimmage. Just to see him moving like that and catching the first ball, like they already on it, I think Terry could really have a big year. I think Terry, either one is going to have a big year. It's either going to be Terry or Deebo, but one of them dudes is going to have a big year, man, because you can't focus in on both of those solely like they were doing with Terry last season. That gets me excited, man. That gets me going. First day of training camp. First pass from Jaden Daniels to Deebo, touchdown over the shoulder pass. So that's looking good. Per Lionel Willingham on Twitter, he says that, let me see. I don't know if this was the first defensive showing, but he did say that they had on the defensive line, they had Louvu, Von Miller at edge, Louvu and Von Miller at edge, and Armstrong and Payne in the interior. So it's already, that kind of puts things into perspective that they're getting creative with this defense. They already starting to get creative with this defense. And it's gonna be something to see. It could, in my mind, it could either be really well and surprise everybody, or it could kind of go bad. It could kind of be in the middle too. So it's just like we just don't know. We kind of got to see. But I think it's good that they're trying things like moving Armstrong in the inside, having Louvu on the line of scrimmage on the other side with Von Miller on the other side. We're going to see Ken Law somewhere in there. We're going to see John Newton somewhere in there. It's going to be a lot of different looks. And until we find the right one, I can expect them to be, playing around with it. But that's very interesting, man. That's very, very interesting to see. But again, this is first year of training camp. Not first year, first day of training camp. A lot more to get into, it'll probably really start ramping up next week. I feel like this week they're going to coast through it, start ramping it up. Like today, Dan Quinn said that when they did the 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s, they started on the red zone. So next week you can probably expect them to be, doing full field drives and everything, and seeing how that works. But more news to come, man. Hopefully later tonight we get a Terry has signed deal, but I'm not banking on that. But we'll see, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning into this video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Going forward, man, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and just do lives from now on. So I feel like that's easier, and I can get it straight out to you guys on Instagram and YouTube. So again, please like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bar. I plan on posting much more often, and I appreciate everybody who watched and who comments and likes. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, man. Peace out.